माननीय सदस्यहरू, संघीय संसदको दुवै सदनको संयुक्त बैठकको कारबाही प्रारम्भ हुन्छ। माननीय सदस्यहरू, नेपालको औपचारिक भ्रमणमा रहनुभएका संयुक्त राष्ट्रसङ्घका महासचिव महामहिम एन्टोनियो गुटेरेसलाई संयुक्त सदनको तर्फबाट म स्वागत गर्दछु। Honorable MPs, I would like to extend a warm welcome to His Excellency Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, on behalf of the joint sitting of both houses. माननीय सदस्यहरू, म महासचिव महामहिम एन्टोनियो गुटेरेसलाई संघीय संसदको दुवै सदनको संयुक्त बैठकलाई सम्बोधनको लागि अनुरोध गर्दछु। Honorable MPs, I would like to request His Excellency Antonio Guterres to address the joint sitting of the both houses of the Federal Parliament.
Your Excellencies, the two presidents of the two houses of the Nepalese Parliament, Excellencies, distinguished ministers, parliamentarians, and friends. Allow me, before I start, to express my deep gratitude for the wonderful hospitality that the government and the people of Nepal has provided to me during these 3 days. All the facilities that were put at my disposal have transformed this visit in an enormous success. I learned a lot, and I commit to use what I learned to support Nepal in your struggle against climate change and for development of your country. When I am here, I am twice at home. I'm at home because I am in Nepal, and I'm at home because I am in a parliament. And I was 18 years in my own parliament. So allow me to call you dear colleagues. It is an honor to be here with you today and a privilege to be back in beautiful Nepal. My first visit was in 1978. And every time I have visited, I have been astounded. And this trip has been no exception. What I've seen and experienced in the past few days will stay with me always. The sunlight hitting the Himalayas, the warmth of the people, the richness of your cultural diversity, and of course, the sanctity of Lumbini. I thank the government of Nepal for your invitation, your hospitality, and your welcome to me and to my delegation. Excellencies, we meet today amidst a world in turmoil. Decades of progress on poverty and hunger are being reversed in large parts of the world. Inflation is undermining household and national budgets. Families and countries alike face financial crises. Women are underrepresented and underpaid. And I recognize the enormous effort that Nepal is doing in the way for gender equality, full gender equality, and I praise your efforts and its results. Violence and conflict abound. While the conflict in the Middle East is thousands of miles away, Nepalis were among the many victims of Hamas' brutal attacks in Israel. I send my sincere condolences to the families of the 10 Nepalese students who were killed, and express my best wishes for the safe return of Mr. Bipin Joshi, who is missing. Distinguished parliamentarians, as geopolitical tensions rise, global divisions are becoming deeper and more dangerous, and smaller countries fear becoming collateral damage in competition between the great powers. And climate catastrophe is accelerating with a deadly force. In responding to this crisis, the world could learn much from Nepal. This country is a promoter of peace, a champion of multilateralism, and a staunch supporter of sustainable development and climate action. Nestled between two great powers, you have forged your own paths to safeguard your sovereignty and your independence. And your journey over the past 20 years has been wonderful to see. A new republic with a new constitution has the UN Charter at its heart. You were quick to embrace the Sustainable Development Goals and are making progress on many of them, independently of the difficult financial conditions that developing countries face in today's unfair world. Your country has successfully calmed the storms of conflict and moved from war to peace, a process the United Nations has been proud to support. Dear parliamentarian colleagues, Nepal does not stand still. Your dynamic story of progress continues today. Your graduation from least developed countries status is imminent, and the United Nations is committed to supporting a smooth transition. And you are preparing the final stages of our Nepal's-led peace process, healing the wounds of war through transitional justice. A process to bring peace to victims, families and communities haunted by questions and scared by injustice, and help put the past to rest. Transitional justice can play a vital role in securing lasting peace, but we all know it's not easy. By nature, it's a delicate and complex process. We know that transitional justice has the greatest chance of success when it is inclusive, comprehensive, and has victims at its heart. When it centers on truth, reparation, and justice, when women participate fully, and when all victims of human rights violations can find meaningful redress. And I welcome efforts here in Nepal to drive progress and find solutions in this regard. And I want to tell you are not alone. The United Nations, respecting the Nepalese leadership of this process, stands ready to support you with your victim-centered process and its implementation in line with international standards, your own Supreme Court's rulings. The United Nations and Nepal are old friends. Our cooperation runs deep. Nepal has long been a cherished member of the UN family and a powerful voice for developing countries, most recently as chair of the Least Developed Countries Group. And this relatively small country compared with the big powers has made an outsized contribution to international peace. Of all the countries on earth, Nepal is the second largest contributor of troops to United Nations missions, military and police. I'm sincerely grateful to the Nepali people for their dedication, their courage, and their service in peacekeeping. And I would like to take a moment and ask for one moment of silence to honor those Nepalese who have lost their lives serving under the blue flag.